Hello and welcome to today's video blog, which is going to be about Google Analytics new beta attribution modeling. And the theme is going to be derpy little baby animals because it's a new beta and new equals baby equals derpy baby animals. And if that doesn't make sense to you, I don't know what makes sense to you. So I wanted to start it off by just saying that this might not be available in all accounts because it is in beta. 2 months ago, I attended a Learn with Google, well, it was longer than 2 months ago, November. I attended a Learn with Google seminar, and they talked about this awesome beta that was going to be available. So we signed a bunch of our accounts up for the beta here at Hannah, and I just started seeing it in my account one day a couple weeks ago. Very exciting. It's located within the multi-channel funnels under the conversion tabs in analytics. You can see that on the left there, so that's where it lives. I was checking out my multi-channel funnels reports one day, and then boom, I have attribution modeling now. Pretty sweet. It gives you 7 predetermined models that you can select in addition to 1 custom model, which you can see on the right here what those look like. You can do whatever you want with the custom model pretty much, and it's really, really cool. I'll walk you through these models, but first I just wanted to tell you what the point of even doing attribution modeling is. Oops. So hopefully your clients are smart enough to know that PPC isn't the only form of digital marketing that they should be doing. PPC and other forms of digital marketing all work together and help boost each other. Just like these puppies are all working together to beg for a treat from their owner. They are working together for one goal, which is sweet, sweet treat time. And so if your clients are tech savvy at all, or if you've been an awesome account manager and helped them, they have all these sources being tracked in the analytics. And you can see I included a little image here that's from the conversion path report in multi-channel funnels. You can see paid search, and then direct, email direct. These are all the different interaction points that can happen leading up to a conversion, and in fact did lead to conversions in this account that I was looking at and took a screenshot from. So basically, attribution modeling just allows you to assign credit where credit is due according to the touch point that they are responsible for in the conversion path. So attribution modeling just lets us assign values to these different touch points, which allows analytics to report on stuff according to these values that we assign. So let's just look at the first 2 most commonly used attribution models to begin with, which are first interaction and last interaction. So, derpy little kitten. These models assign 100% of conversion value to either the first or the last point of interaction. So looking at a conversion path that goes paid and then email and then referral, the paid click would get all of the credit in the first interaction model, and then referral would get all of the credit in the last interaction model. In this new analytics feature, you can compare the different models to see what that looks like for your sources or whatever metric you're using to break it down. And I'm just using sources because it's the first one that you see in the report. And you can see the difference there. For paid search conversions, it's 232 with the last interaction model and 325 with the first interaction model. So that's a pretty huge difference. So that can really affect how you're reporting. And these are just the easiest ones to understand and the most commonly used ones. It assumes that either the first point people interact with in their path to conversion should get all of the credit, or the last one. And so either what introduces your site is most important, or the last point that finally convinces them to buy is the most important, or submit their lead, whatever your goal is. First interaction might be more appropriate for accounts that focus on creating initial awareness, like when your brand isn't well known. So in those instances, it might be great to use first interaction models. Last interaction might be more useful if you're trying to attract people right before the moment of purchase. And this is also the default for all analytics reporting. So that's another good piece of information to have. So time decay and linear models are slightly more complex. Linear assumes that all points in your path deserve equal credit. And might be useful to you when your campaigns are designed to maintain contact and awareness throughout the sales cycle. So just all points are as important as any other point in getting that conversion. Time decay assumes that the further along in the process of converting someone is, the more important that touch point is. So starting out on a paid click hold less value than the email that got them to interact again, and both have less value than the referral that got them to actually make the purchase. This is useful if you run 1 or 2 day promotion campaigns when you might want to give more credit to interactions during days of the promotion. Looking at the same data in this bottom image of the comparison as I did in the last slide, and you can see the paid search gets 265 conversions in the time delay model and 272 in the linear model. Big difference. Oh, they did a little puppy. So there really isn't a model picture for last AdWords clicks, but it just means that it uses the AdWords attribution model, which is just basically any conversion path that had paid search in it, just count that as paid search. So sort of all decks stacked as much as possible to paid search. So this is always going to have the most conversions for paid search. So there's that. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's the best one to use for reporting, depending on what your goals are and depending on if you manage any other avenues and what you're trying to do with your account. So the position-based model gives 40% of credit to the first interaction, 20% to all the middle interactions split between them, and 40% to the last point of interaction. And this is useful when you most value the touch points that introduce and the ones that convert people. So if you are kind of torn between first and last, this might be a good in the middle place for you. You can see that this results in 276 conversions for paid search using that same set of data that we have been using. So last non-direct click is the exact same as last click, except that it factors out all the direct visits. This model is for when you assume the direct visits are just re-engagements or whatever other touch points that they've already had. So if a user has visited your site via a paid click and then they went back direct later, we're saying in this model that direct visit doesn't deserve any credit, only the paid click one, because that's where they were first introduced and that's how they knew to even go directly to your website. So here's where it gets even cooler, because now we're going to talk about the custom models. You can customize the look back window, how many days prior to the conversion. You can adjust credit based on user engagement via time on site or page depth, and you can apply custom credit rules based on all sorts of junk. So here's an example that Google gives. If you think a generic keyword visit is more valuable than your brand visit, then you could decrease the credit given to your brand keyword channel by half. So to reduce by half the credit given to that branded or navigational search terms anywhere in the path, you could just use the custom credit rules to include keywords containing your brand name at a credit of 0.5 times other touch points. And then to give no credit to visits in the path that resulted in a bounce, you can include bounce visit exactly matching yes with a credit of 0 times other touch points. Anyway, it all sounds very cool. I'm sure you're slightly confused though. So let's do a live walkthrough and bear with me while I make the switchy to do this. Okay, so this is the Google Analytics report, well, a screenshot of it. Basically, I'm in a client's account and I have to keep that private, so you're only going to see a little bit of it, but I'll show you what I can. So I'm in here and you can see that the default is to show me last interaction, and then I see all my basic channel groupings, and then I can go over and see my conversions there. And then you can see that up here I have other options like source, medium, other, channel groupings. You can look at this even by AdWords campaign or AdWords ad group, so it's really cool to look at if you value different things in your campaign over other things in your campaigns, like branded versus display, or maybe one really expensive product versus a really cheap product. But I can't really get into depth with that right now because then you would start to see my client's business and I can't show you that stuff. So I just wanted to show you how to set up custom model. So you click up here, you scroll down. You can see I made a couple playing with it here. So I'll just go ahead and show you this one. So you can see I have it here branded at 50%, and then I have display valued at ×2. And you can kind of see what the difference is here. And then if I wanted to make a new one, just come up here and then create new custom model. It's loading. And you can see I have a model name. I'm going to make it video blog model because it's for you guys. And then you can pick a baseline model. So basically, like, this is probably the closest thing, but I definitely want to alter it. And for me, right now, I'm going to say I feel like linear is pretty close because I value everything just as much, but I want to make some alterations. And my alterations could be look back window, adjust credit based on user engagement, or apply custom credit rules. And what I really want to adjust is the custom credit rules. So you can see I can turn that on. Boop. And then I can kind of scroll it down. So now I want to say, I feel like any match type broad keywords, really, they're not that important. So I'm going to get them a 0.5% credit. And then I want another custom credit because I'm not done yet. I want to also say that I feel like any keyword, keyword containing the word, let's say my brand is popsicle, which is kind of weird because it's also a thing. It's one of those things. But anyway, you get it. So popsicle, which might be spelled wrong. I don't even know. Maybe I'm embarrassing myself on the internets right now. I want to also make this 0.5% because I don't value it. So then I can hit save and apply. And then that would be a thing that I could do up here now, but it doesn't make sense for this account, so it's not going to show me anything. But now it's here. Whoopee! So yeah, that was the live walkthrough guy. So cute. So I just wanted to show you guys a resource. This is really just the help section for the Google attribution building tool in Google, and that will give you pretty much everything that I already talked about. Maybe I talked about some more kind of theories behind why you'd use one over another than this does. So hopefully that was really helpful, and hopefully you had a really great time looking at all these derpy little baby animals with me. And if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or tweet me, or just get a hold of me and I'll try and answer them, and we can talk about attribution modeling, which I'm very excited about, so I'd love to talk about it. Thanks, the internet, and have a really great day.